it was an interesting concept, so that made me curious and wanted, like, I wanted to be a part of this project because it sounded so unique. Yeah, like,
Pretty much the same reason as hers. Like it's like, the seed concept was very interesting. You know how like you interact with someone and then it turns into a tree as the interactions grow and all that stuff. So that was a very new concept. I've never. It was like quite different. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Like if I was an audience, I would like it as a piece of fiction. I would like to watch something like this. Basically, I had done some Nukkad Nataks, but I don't think that counts because Nukkad Natak is completely different from like sophisticated kind of acting that you have to do in like a film. But um, I was basically like it was difficult. Itna bhi difficult Thani because honestly, Mera role was not that complex. Thankfully, Liza's role was. So I was like, yay, no emotions, no like complicated emotions need to be portrayed. I was just like very oblivious piece of crap, just who does not understand like obvious flirting and obvious pining and all that stuff. So, but it was still like, it was just since all of us were friends, it was just difficult not to laugh and like take the whole thing seriously because when you're with your friends it's hard to take things seriously. So yeah, that was just the challenge. And like the challenges were the locations because each and every location that we filmed in was like a public place. And since it was our first time, we were quite shy, all of us. And it was also like there was a lot of chaos going on in the park and in our college and all that stuff. So the locations were a bit challenging. Everything else was good. The dubbing was also challenging, probably the most challenging part.
yeah. From the past, I have been interested in like acting and drama, like theater in general, but I'm a very um socially anxious person and I get stage fright very easily. So when Raj brought this project up, I was like instantly like interested, but I had my apprehensions about it. But I thought, ki, since it's just gonna be him, then like our friends and just us. So we were like, ki, so I was like, ki, it won't be that bad since there's not like big audience and just this small camera. So I kind of like zoned out everything else. But yeah, sometimes when we were acting, someone would laugh, someone would make some comment, and then I would be brought back to reality. Like there are people watching, so that was very embarrassing. And yeah, like background noises and the environment. Sometimes when you realize it's not just acting, that there are other people, that was kind of scary for me. But it was fun. I tried to portray as much a forlorn lover would feel, I guess. It was like a bit like cringe, but it's romance. Romance is supposed to be cringe and enjoyed. I'm still salty that they didn't end up together, that someone had to kill them off, one of the characters. But yeah, it was like acting, like feeling of love. Like even though Shishti is a friend, I do love her. So I guess some of the platonic love to romantic love, the transfer, because I already felt love for her. That's why it was sort of easy and I guess sort of relatable.
Like, like I said, my character was like very oblivious. Um, but that is something that has happened with me in real life. Not happened with me in real life, but I've been told by a lot of my friends that I'm very oblivious as to what goes around me and what goes around with me. So I was like, oh, relatable. Like when I was acting the actor out, I didn't really have to act because I am just a very oblivious person in general, like IRL. So it was like, yay, it did not much had to be put from my side. But when it comes to Lily's role, I did feel very bad for her. It was like this one-sided pining that she had going on, and like she was just like satisfied with just like her interacting with her for even 1 second, like Niti giving her pen back. That was like the world to her. It's like, wow, I got my pen back from her personally. That is like nirvana, achieved nirvana. So that's something that I also felt bad that it was a sad ending. It was like, wow, Neeta just died. So yeah, basically my character was fine. It was like, something. Basically, the story was something that I can see happening in real life. It's something that happens where, like, due to maybe heteronormativity, you don't really actually realize that the person in front of you might be thinking something else, and you just like go on with your day like, oh, they're a good friend, and that's just very sad. Was very, very like challenging because matching our lips in the video to the audio, like recording it at that time, it was just so, we had to do it so many times and it was still not perfect, so at the end we just gave up on some of the scenes. that was very that was something that I was like, wow, this is what it must be like for, like, I'm just thinking, and I had really a lot of sympathy for those who do like professional filmmaking and all the stuff, how much they would have to go through, because we were filming this short little like 15-minute video and we were already like half dying. I was just thinking what happened to those people who make like 1 hour, 2 hour long films. So respect for them and also my condolences.
Thing was fine actually, like because we were given clear directions and like what we had to portray and how the shot should be like. I guess the time crunch didn't let us explore more ideas and alternative shoots, so that was a bit dissatisfying. But I agree with Shishi, the dubbing was the most difficult part. The whole synchronizing the voice acting with the video that was already shot was very, very hard. And I guess most of the difficult work was Raj's, because for us, though, it was just acting. But dubbing was the hardest, I guess.
So like yeah, my role is not actually, it was just last minute also, and like it was a, it was not that hard like other like, yeah, tum log ka, so that's why for mine though it's okay. For you guys did the most of the job. You did the editing, dubbing, and all. Mine was just a support, so I'm just a support cast. That's all.
I think from what I remember, you filmed it for a competition, but you didn't remember what was the due date for the competition. And when you did remember it, it was already too late. So we did it within like 3 days. Like one day was at Nehru Park, one day, 1.5 day was at our college, and then like the rest half was at the metro station. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And we legitimately had to bring like outfit changes, like extra jackets with us in our bags, which was already as if not heavy enough. We had to bring in extra jackets so that if we make it look like we filmed for like several days, even though it was just like 3 days. So the outfit changes were done behind the scenes. So yeah, the time crunch was very difficult because even if it was like just 15 minutes short film, it was still there was still a lot of content and a lot of ideas we had, but like Liza said, we could not really put them into action because of the time crunch, and also because honestly, you can't really put a lot into a 15-minute clip. But yeah, the shooting that, like the fact that we actually filmed the short film within 3 days, and then like one day, I think 2 days for the post production is like, I think, a flex. Like I say to all of my friends who ever make in the future that we made a short film in 5 days, like complete with post production and everything. So yeah, but it was a bit challenging. It was, I think, more challenging for because he had to do all the post production stuff, and that was that. But it was still very fun. Yeah, like it's a good college memory. It was our last year of college. We did think of it will be something that will be fun to do. So that was definitely true, but it was also very stressful. We were like scared, and like, what if we don't get it complete in time? And all of us were kind of getting frustrated at some point, but we worked it out somehow. Actually, I was the one who was getting more frustrated because I'm just that kind of person, but I digress. I mean, like I said, the catharsis, like I said, it's like I said, it's a 15-minute video clip. So honestly, there was not even a lot of content for catharsis to happen. Like I feel like we needed to be a bit more emotionally attached to the characters for that to happen. But like we didn't really get to see a lot because like catharsis usually happens in the plays and all that stuff, which are like hours long. So I feel like when it comes to the ending, like me and Liza both said that we were a bit sad that it did not have a happy ending. But then again, I feel like it somehow shows the reality, if I put it in a way. Like obviously it depends on where you are, but in a lot of like strict and conservative countries, this is something that might happen. Although, however, in this story, it had nothing to do with the society, but it just like, unfortunate circumstances happened and like the timing was all wrong. Lily could not muster up the courage, and before she could do anything, Niti was in heaven. So that was a sad part. So it was about the timing, but that is also something that can happen regardless of whether or not the story is queer or straight. It's just, when it's like something that a lot of people can think of. It's like, I would recommend, if you think that you like someone, just say it. It's like, is it like, better late than never kind of a thing is not applicable here, because if it's late, it's late. Done. It's done. You are done for. So I would say, and it is quite scary, especially like I said, when if it's a queer thing, it's scary because a lot of people are not accepting, and you are scared of negative reactions, which is probably going to happen if you are in a country like India. Welcome abroad. But I would still say that do take the chance if you think that it's safe enough, because you might regret not doing anything at all as well in the future. And love is, I mean, like if you like someone, you should have the courage. If you don't have the courage, that's completely fine as well. Don't force yourself. But then again, if you think that you want to, not want to regret it in the future, then go for it. I'll cheer on as if I know you, but you get the point.
All of the points were covered by Shishti. Like, uh, this movie was more about right person, wrong timings, cause, cause we don't know like if the answer was even a no or a yes, since it ended before because of natural circumstances rather than the question if that Niti returned the feelings or not. So I agree with Shrishti, like sometimes it's better to do it rather than regret it later on. To confess regardless of your choices, regardless of the gender or the sexes or the identity, to just go for it. And I wish like people don't go through what our characters went through, and they feel more comfortable speaking and expressing love to whoever they have feelings for and attraction for. Yeah, that was it.
Mm,
Me
okay.
laughing at you guys go acting.
Yeah, haha, it's so very funny. I Yeah, that is true, but it's something that is quite funny because he was laughing at me and Liza's acting, very amateur, obviously, and like how we were cringing internally, and he made us cringe externally as well. Thank you very much for that, ISO. And that is true. Both of us were, like I said, it was kind of like first for all of us, so all of us were cringing and all that, but it was still, it was still fun in the way that, like I said, it will be a good flex for the future. Like we made a short film in 5 days, and also that it was something that a lot of people liked, and we were not expecting so much of positive feedback, because honestly, when we were looking at it, we were like, but I'm really happy that people liked it, and everything about it was fun. But I think the most fun was the Nehru Park location, because it was very pretty. Like in the movie, it's where it's Lily's headspace, that thingy. That was very good. We also got some good photos out of that, so that was also cherry on top. So yeah, the Nehru Park shoot day was quite fun. It was tiring, but it was fun regardless. You had a lot of good ideas and you presented them quite well. The scenes where like we were in Lily's brain were aesthetic, like the flowers and the leaves and all that stuff were really good. And yeah, the camera work was also really nice. I really liked it actually. I did cringe, but I cringed at myself, not at the story. Everything else was good. I'm just cringe.
Me, like, I watched the movie, like, saw the whole film, like, after a whole week because I had to prepare myself, heart and soul and mind. Because it, exactly, the story was not cringe, the direction was good, everything was good. Just looking at ourselves, acting was very, 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 very uncomfortable. Like, it felt an out of body experience. Like, we are watching a completely different human who just supposed to have the same face as us. I felt like that, and but yeah, it was a good learning experience and something that I will never forget.
कैमरा में मत देखो ना बात